Greetings everybody and welcome to Madrid Ball. Hope you all are safe and sound, and today in this video we will discuss the areas that Real need to strengthen to keep the team on top for the seasons to come. We also have some transfer news that we will deal with at the end of the video, so give me your next 10 minutes as we dive into how we can be a better team for the upcoming season. Now in the defense, we seem to be pretty sound as our record suggests this season. In the centre-back position, we can pretty much be sure that Real will stick with the duo of Varane and Ramos. Varane is 27 years old, he still has a lot to give to the club, and Ramos currently has his contract set to expire in the summer of 2021. The club had earlier thought of extending his contract by 1 year, but after seeing how important Ramos has been this season for Real Madrid, the club is considering giving him a 2-year contract. No doubt, Real are a better side when our captain is playing. He screams and shouts at his teammates, and there is no one in the Real Madrid side right now who has the capability to match the leadership skills of Ramos. Next season, we shall stick with our same centre-back pairing with MILITAO as a backup option, but Real would still keep an eye on the top defenders in the world, one of them being Dayot Upamecano. The French player who plays centre-back for RB Leipzig is one player who is on the radar of many big clubs. Real also seem to be interested, but as many of you know that he has recently signed a deal with Leipzig which will extend his contract till the summer of 2023. Upamecano, in his previous contract, had a release clause of 60 million euros, and that made him a hot prospect in the transfer market, and many clubs were hoping to land him. The likes of Barcelona, Man City, Chelsea, Real Madrid have all been touting the possibility to bring Upamecano at the club. He has been really good this season. From what I have seen, he is good with the ball at the back. He does seem to have an instant acceleration ability which helps him cover a lot of ground in a short time, and he is a big guy who likes to take the ball forward from the back. He is quick, big and strong. Now that Ramos is 34 and towards the twilight of his Real Madrid career, Upamecano does look like a player who can to an extent take up the defensive responsibilities from Ramos in the future. But for now, Upamecano has committed to stay at Leipzig for the next season, but an interesting thing in his contract is that he has a release clause of 50 million euros only for the summer of 2021. So Real would keep an eye on this 21-year-old prospect and see how he develops in the upcoming season. And if Upamecano has another super season at Leipzig, I wouldn't rule out the possibility of seeing him at our club next season. For the time being, we have MILITAO as a backup centre-back, and as for Nacho goes, there is a possibility that Real may cash in for him this summer. But an area of defence that Real need to bolster is the right-back position. Now we know that the area is currently deputized by Carvajal, but we currently do not have any backup for Carvajal in that position. We did let go Hakimi early, and Ordizola is on a loan spell at Bayern where he is struggling to get game time. But Real Madrid have decided to bring Spanish right back Alvaro Ordizola, according to reports from AS. Ordizola hasn't been relevant player at Bayern. Madrid's need for a backup right back will allow him to stay in the Spanish capital next season. He is good going forward with the overlapping runs, but his presence in Real Madrid next season will allow Carvajal to catch a breather ahead of the big matches, and we can keep Carvajal fresh for the crunch encounters. Our left back position looks pretty much settled. We have Mendy, who after a great season in which he was named as Real Madrid's signing of the year, looks like a great addition for the years to come. He is good defensively, and offensively, he has shown improvement in the latter stages of LaLiga season. Offensively, I won't say he is as good as Marcelo, but certainly Marcelo and Mendy may again be rotated by Zidane next season, assessing the opposition that they come against. Reguilón is one of the exciting prospects who also happens to play in the left-back position, was on loan to Sevilla this past season where he was excellent, but as per reports, Reguilón may be sold this season in order to bring in more money at the club and keep the club financially stable. I would personally like to see him back someday, but for the time being, let's hope that the club can get the best deal possible and get a good amount of cash for this quality player. Now coming to our midfield this season, we relied on Modric, Kroos, Casemiro and Valverde to keep the things ticking in the middle of the park. James was sidelined on a number of occasions. He most likely will be sold. I do feel for James, he's a quality player, but hopefully he can find a club where he feels more important. But here, we recently have been given knowledge about the fact that Martin Odegaard's loan spell at Real Sociedad has been terminated, and we will have him at our club next season to bolster our midfield. He looks like a great addition, and he along along with Valverde would certainly add a lot of energy to our midfield. The prominent names in our midfield have been Kroos, Modric, Casemiro, but Modric is 34, Kroos is 30, and although Casemiro is still young and has many miles left in his legs, but even he needs to prevent getting overworked to avoid an injury and stay fresh for the big matches. So one area that I would hope Real could strengthen in the middle is the defensive midfield position. We currently do not have anyone in the squad who can cover up for Casemiro, and as a result, Zidane has no option but to continuously pick Casemiro in the side. We need someone who has the qualities similar to that of Casemiro so that we can have a little more competition for position, and also so that we can give Casemiro some rest against the teams that will be in the bottom half of the table. Real currently have Eduardo Camvinga of Rennes on their radar, but Rennes are going to charge a very high amount for this player. According to some reports, he will cost more than 80 million euros, and that is certainly a very high amount for a 17-year-old. I agree this player is not an average 17-year-old, but considering the financial aspects of the deal during these times of financial distress at Real Madrid, the interest has cooled down in him. But we have a cheaper alternative in the form of Marc Roca of Espanyol, whose services we can get for 18 million euros only. He is naturally a left-footed player who plays very swiftly and can suit Real's game. He had a good season for Espanyol. He might be a good backup for Casemiro, but I do have this feeling that Real would not be willing to bring him on board with the current crop of talent that we already possess in the midfield. Now coming to the attack, this has been one department that we have been struggling a bit for the past 2 seasons. The hole left by Ronaldo's departure couldn't be filled in the attack instantly. We didn't go for any Galactico signing in the 2018-19 season, and for the 2019-20 season, we brought in Hazard for a huge fee, expecting that he would take some of the goal-scoring pressure off Benzema. But that was not the case. As we know, injuries did play a major part, and he was sidelined for a number of matches. In his absence, we saw Zidane playing the youngsters. In a few matches, we saw Vinicius on the wings. At times, we saw Rodrygo was given the green light, and we saw Benzema was the only constant in the attack. He did get some good numbers in the 2019-20 season, but the problem is the second highest goal scorer was our very own captain Sergio Ramos. And yes, a lot of them came from penalties, but when you see a defender being the second highest goal scorer of a team like Real Madrid, that is an indication that up front we are lacking in the attacking department. The young players that we have currently, they need more time to mature, they need more time to grow with more minutes on the pitch, and certainly the finishing aspect of their game must improve. Cause in the end, it's the goals that win you matches. Vinicius and Rodrygo are a handful for any defense in the world. The pace that they possess, the flair in their runs often rattle the opposition defense. Only if they can improve a bit on their finishing and get a few more goals, it would be brilliant for Madrid. Asensio was sidelined for a majority of the campaign due to an injury he picked up in pre-season, but for the next season, I think he will get more time, and Zidane would expect Asensio to be an important piece when it comes to our attack. We are not as flamboyant in attack as we were in the previous years when we had Ronaldo, Bale and Benzema in their prime, but we do have some exciting young talent up front, and if one of the attackers apart from Benzema gets more than 15 goals in the next La Liga campaign, I think it will be one step in the right direction. Luka Jovic, if he stays and gets a second chance at Real, is an exciting prospect. He just lacks a bit of confidence at the moment, and if he can regain some of the form that he showed before joining Real Madrid, which had made Real splash the cash, I have no doubt he can be a very useful option in the center of the attack. So for the upcoming campaign, we need our promising youngsters to prove their worth. We need them to be more decisive in front of goal. We as Real Madrid fans are hoping to get Mbappe or Haaland in the future, but with the current situation, we may have to wait a year at least, as both will not come cheap. I just have this feeling that in the summer of 2021, we are going to go all in for Mbappe, and what a signing it would be for Real Madrid. For the time being, we have to hold our horses, be patient, and believe in our youngsters. Zidane does have enough depth in the squad to challenge for the Champions League next season, and the only thing that Zidane has to do is that he should find a proper system to utilize these players in the best possible way. Give appropriate game time to our players so that they can prove their worth, rotate as per the requirement, and keep the players hungry glory for glory. The La Liga season is going to start from 12th of September, so we are not very far away. We may expect Real to make some moves in the transfer market, but I don't think we are going to bring in any big names. But I will keep you updated with the players moving in and out of the club. And now coming to the player who has moved out of the club, one of our young stars, Reinier Jesus, moved to Dortmund on a 2-year loan spell. Personally, I am very happy with the move. He has moved to Bundesliga, which is widely renowned these days for the development of young players, and especially at Dortmund, we do have a plethora of young talent. Reinier would play with the likes of Jadon Sancho, Haaland, Marco Reus, and many more. Hopefully, Lucien Favre will take good care of Reinier and mold him into a top-class player. And that is all we have here. Let me know which area you think Real Madrid are lacking going into next season. What changes would you like in the squad? I would love to interact with you Madridistas in the comment section below. Hope you liked this video. Like, share and subscribe to my channel for more similar content related to Real Madrid. I will see you soon in the days to come with more transfer rumors and some insider news related to our favorite club. Till then, take care, and as always, Hala Madrid. Yeah.